Good day, everyone. This is Francesco D'Ancona checking in. Hope we're all doing well, staying safe, enjoying the breeze, shooting the fucking trees. That's what's up, all you. I want to make this a quick one. I'm going to talk about the concept of being an active listener that always gets brought up in couples therapy. It's one of the favourite things they like to harp on about. I think this is an aspect of feminine mythology, as Rollo Tomasi would call it, that sort of is one of the ways women excuse and justify essentially henpecking and nagging their husband. Is the underlying reason is they're bored of their husbands, they find them low value, there's too much familiarity, too much comfort. But they need some mythology of it's because you don't get me, it's because you're just a pig, to justify it. So active listening for me comes down to, I think it's kind of interesting, because it's one of these things that at the beginning of a relationship, there was probably, you never struggled with this. It's kind of a strange and gaslighty thing as a concept in the whole. This idea that you as an adult human that's gone through many years of learning how to be social with people, you've got friends, you've got good relationships with your family, but for some reason, when it comes to this one woman, she's like, oh, you just don't listen to anything I say. You're incapable of hearing me. Why is that? I think from the male side of things, what this feels like, this thing of you don't listen to me. My experience of it anyway is you get in from work or something, you're tired, you just want to get your clothes off, get out your work clothes, you want to have something to eat, you want to take it easy. Yeah, you want to see your family, you want to see your wife, you want to see your missus. You want to catch up with them. How was your day and all of this? But it just feels like the woman starts talking at you, not so much as to you, just this verbal diarrhea. And it's just stuff you don't really care about, stuff you're not interested in hearing. She starts talking your ear off about minutiae of what her friends have been up to, and and then someone said this, and then my mum said this, and then there was this thing going on in town today, and XYZ, just this utter rambling about stuff you're not interested in, and you're kind of like, yeah, trying to eat my dinner, yeah, okay, because you're not fucking interested, but she keeps talking at you anyway, and then in the midst, she'll sort of bury important details about things she expects you to remember you're doing it the weekend or 2 weekends away, and when it comes up and you're like, oh, sorry, did you tell me we were doing this? She's like, oh yeah, I told you, you didn't listen. You never listen. And it's because she sort of buries information in amongst a stream of crap that she knows you don't care about. And I try to think, was the woman like this at the beginning of the relationship? No, we had pleasant conversations and we enjoyed talking to each other. And as I said, are my relationships like this with other people? Do I not know how to have conversations with other people? Do I block out what they're saying and zone out and not really listen? No. And I think what it comes down to is there's a difference when a woman... Fundamentally, I think, when a woman loses respect for you, when she stops caring about how you feel and treating you well, this is also when the sex shuts off in a relationship. I think the thing you naturally do when you're talking to someone, where you think, am I boring you? Is this conversation about a topic you're actually interested in? Is this a mutually enjoyable conversation? How you naturally filter your conversation. So if I'm when I start a conversation with someone at work, I'm mindful of what their hobbies and interests are. If I'm talking to someone at work who's a technologist like me, I know I can go into detail of technology stuff and they will enjoy it. And if they're not enjoying it, I'll be able to tell by them starting, yeah, okay, all right, and I conduct myself accordingly. but something that's kind of a sign of low emotional intelligence, low, you know, or like low respect for someone is if you just have verbal diarrhea, talking endlessly about yourself to them without any filter. So you're just the subject of my raving and ranting, and I don't really care if you're enjoying the conversation. This is stuff I want to say. I like the sound of my own voice, so I'm just gonna blurt it at you. You know, it's just a sign that of a fundamental lost respect, I think, and treating you like shit. Um, so yeah, I don't know. I'm keen to get what other people think on this because I've not heard a good explanation for this. Just yet. But I mean, I think the good way to turn it back on women, if they say you're not an active listener, is, well, what if when I talk to you, I just let loose lots of crap you didn't care to hear. So, you know, so a good example is I'm really into football or soccer, as people in America would call it. What if when I sit down with my wife, I start boring her with in-depth details about statistics of how my team are performing, and the transfer window will be open in this many weeks, and I think there's a real chance we could sign this player. I think this guy, he's been scoring goals. He's shown he can do it in the Premier League. You know, he's on the up and coming. He's still young enough that he's got enough good years left in him, and he's on the last year of his contract. Well, of course, this, you know, we could alternatively sign this guy, and he likes the formation we play in, and I think our manager used to work with him, so I think he'll like him a lot. You know, if I just start talking my wife's ear off incessantly about things I know she has no interest in, but I like to hear myself talk about it, these things are interesting to me, I think she would just start to consider me a bit of a bore, a bit of a windbag. And if I was like, oh, you're not an active listener, you're not paying attention to what I'm saying, she'd be like, yeah, no, I'm not, because I don't care to hear this crap. Anyway, those are my thoughts. Let me know what you think.